Should you start a bookkeeping company with no experience? Today we're going to be looking at exactly why you should start one with no experience. So stick around because we're starting right now. Hey everyone, what is up? It is Tim of the People's Bookkeeper, where we always hit the mark. Make your mark in business too, and share it on YouTube. Do that by subscribing now and turning on the bell notification. So let's cut to the chase. Do you need to have tons of experience, tons of schooling to be able to start a bookkeeping company? And the answer is no. You don't need to know all the specific ins and outs of bookkeeping in order to be able to run a successful company. One thing that you do need is to possess the 7 characteristics that make a great bookkeeper. If you haven't checked out that video yet, then I'm going to put a link right here. You should definitely check that out after you finish watching this video. So no, you do not need to have a bachelor's degree or a big expensive accounting degree in order to be able to start and run a successful bookkeeping company. The biggest problem that businesses face is finding a great bookkeeper, someone who is reliable, and as I discussed in the previous video, possesses these 7 key characteristics in order to be a great bookkeeper. There are so many people that get hired for jobs based on what they look like on paper, but that doesn't always translate into them being an amazing employee. And so starting this career, even without that side of things, even if you're not a math whiz, is something you can do as long as you possess these 7 characteristics. And it's also really important to know your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to help people? And what do you want to get out of it? Now, some people might already have some experience in this field. The question is, well, does that hurt me or help me? Well, it really depends on the situation. If you're someone who's set in their ways and won't change or adapt to new ways of doing things, then it's going to hurt you. But if you're someone who's open and receptive to trying new things, it can really help you build your relationship with your clients and serve them better. Now you might ask the question, well, how long does it take me to start a bookkeeping business? Well, there's no cut and dry answer to that. It depends on your location, it depends on whether you're in a city, whether you're in the country, it depends on the population around you, it depends on the amount of businesses in the area and your competition. However, this is definitely something you can do, and you can build a company fairly quickly even in a small population. However, you really need to immerse yourself into learning about what bookkeeping is all about and how to do a good job at it. There are some awesome courses out there that you can sign up for to teach you all the ins and outs and those sorts of things. But without the 7 key character traits that I mentioned in the previous video, they're not going to really help you. And while bookkeeping is a fairly simple business, that doesn't make it easy. And again, as we previously spoke about, it's a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. But if you're looking for a bottom line answer, really you can get your business up and running within a couple of months. The nice thing is with this career is you get to control your destiny. Now I get a lot of people asking me, well, how much does it cost to start up this business? The beautiful thing is that starting your bookkeeping company doesn't cost that much. And remember, bookkeeping is a very profitable business. And since it's a virtual-based business that you're going to have, you'll need a few things to get yourself set up. You need a computer, a desk, a chair, and you're going to need software and applications to help you serve your clients well. Beyond these few key items, you're also going to have a few other startup costs as well. You're going to need some office supplies, you're going to need some business cards, you're going to need a website with domain and hosting. The beautiful thing is there's lots of great website platform builders out there, so you can actually do this yourself for a very low cost. A couple of the really popular ones and some of my favorites are Wix, Squarespace, and my personal favorite is Weebly. However, if you're a tech-oriented person and you're good at programming, you can use WordPress to create something that's a lot more complex. You'll also want to pick up a printer, a scanner, and maybe some other basic office supplies as well. My personal recommendation, after using multiple softwares over the last few years, is QuickBooks Online. It's my absolute favorite, and it's got robust features. As a bookkeeper, you also get a special free account for life, and you get a special wholesale pricing for your clients as well. Something else you'll need to pay for as well is your errors and omissions insurance, which will cover you should you have a problem or an issue that arises from not doing something correctly for your clients. You're also going to have some costs with registering your business as well. However, provincially, federally, it's fairly inexpensive to do this. And if you decide to register as a sole proprietor or a partnership, it's very low cost. You might run into higher costs if you decide that you want to incorporate, but as a new business, this isn't something that's absolutely necessary right off the bat. So if you look at it this way, most businesses cost a ton to get started. By the time you've added in all these costs, and especially if you do something like franchising and those sorts of things, you could be looking at $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. What I love about bookkeeping companies is you can actually get this business started and off the ground for anywhere between $1,500 to maybe $5,000 depending on what courses and certifications you take. And if you want to do some schooling on top of that, you certainly can, but it's not absolutely necessary. Another thing I absolutely love about having a bookkeeping company is it is a time-honored profession. It's something that's needed always. There never will be a time when there's no demand for bookkeeping. And you need to have the right mindset that you are a professional bookkeeper. And as a bookkeeper, you need to continue to develop your skills and your craft each day. Now, probably the most important thing that you need is a solid bookkeeping application. Think of it this way, a painter can't do anything without his paintbrush. And so your bookkeeping application is your paintbrush as a great bookkeeper. Now, a key for you to remember is that since you're a virtual bookkeeper, you need your software to be cloud-based. This means that you can serve your clients regardless of their location or your location. You don't want to rely upon an application that is location dependent. It really limits you as to what you can do and how you can serve your clients the best way. You also want a software application that gives you military-grade security like QuickBooks Online because you're dealing with people's sensitive financial information. So you need to ensure that you're doing your absolute best to protect that client's information. Now, as I had mentioned previously, if this is a career that you're really giving serious thought to, then you really need to check out my previous video on the 7 characteristics or 7 traits that make a great bookkeeper, and make sure that you possess those characteristics or that at least you're comfortable working on and developing those traits so that you can become a great bookkeeper. So my question of the day for you is, what is stopping you from launching your own business today? Comment and leave feedback below. Now, if you want to make your mark in business, then check out these videos over here. They'll help you grow your business. And if you're new to the channel, then please consider subscribing. Click my face and you'll do just that. I'll see you in the next video.